The Art of Leadership Network.
Hey leaders, welcome to the LeadCulture podcast. I'm your host, Jenni Catron, founder and CEO of the Foresight Group, where we cultivate healthy leaders who lead thriving teams. This podcast is for leaders who want more than good intentions. You want clarity, confidence, and practical tools to lead well in the real world. Each week, I'll help you navigate the challenges of leadership and culture with insights that you can actually put into practice. We'll explore what it takes to lead yourself well, because how you show up shapes everything, from your decisions to your team's health and momentum. My goal is to equip you to lead with purpose, strengthen your culture, and create environments where people and organizations flourish. You'll hear honest conversations, real stories, and proven frameworks, along with insights from leaders committed to doing the work of leading well. So whether you're leading a team, an organization, or growing as a leader, you're in the right place. So let's dive in. Well, friends, today I am talking about Culture Boosters Summer Edition. What are those things that we can do to help boost our culture, especially in the summer? Now, one of my favorite exercises to do with leaders is to ask them to name a culture bright spot. Name a culture bright spot, something in your culture that you're proud of. Maybe it's something recent, something specific, but something that is a bright spot in your culture. Think about that for a minute. Did something come to mind? Did you think of something that you were like, oh, that was a bright spot? That was us at our best. See, what's fascinating is when I do this with a team, how often I get a blank stare in return. Now, I get it. As leaders, we're wired to identify what's not working, and we focus on fixing that, right? And if we're not careful, all we see are the problems in our organization or the problems in our culture, and we miss the good things. I have to frequently ask myself the question, what's good? Right? Like whenever I'm feeling a little overwhelmed of all the things I see that we need to fix or do better or grow or improve on, I slow myself down and I ask the question, what's good? I know that I'm innately wired to problem solve. Like it is just in my nature. And sometimes that's a really good thing. In fact, my company is called the Foresight Group because I'm wired to anticipate and quickly mitigate problems. I want foresight that leads to success. And I want that for you as well. But the problem with always focusing on problems, the problem is that it becomes all you see and you miss the good things. As the adage goes, you get what you're looking for. So while I think anticipating and identifying problems is core to a leader's work, it's one-sided and can have negative unintended consequences. See, when team members don't hear you calling out what's good and only hear about what's wrong, they quickly become discouraged, don't they? And that discouragement leads to disengagement. And disengagement is the death knell of momentum. See, friends, we have to balance our problem-solving initiatives with our spotting what's good, finding the bright spots in our culture and calling them out and naming them. Employee engagement is all about the psychological attachment that we have to our work, to our team, and to our organization. Think about that for a minute. Employee engagement is about the psychological attachment that we have to our work, to our team, and to our organization. So as leaders, we foster psychological attachment when we help our team see the positive impact of their contribution. When we foster bright spots in our culture, that reminds them of the best parts of being a part of our team. See, when you foster those bright spots, you're reminding them, this is why I'm here. This is why I love this work. This is why I love these people. This is why I love the mission that we're a part of. We have to call out those bright spots because you're as guilty of this as I am. If I only hear the things that I'm not doing well, then I fixate on that. And I think that I'm terrible. I think that I'm not winning. I think that I'm not succeeding. And so that needs to be counteracted with the things that are good. I need to be reminded probably, and I think there's research on this, like 3, 5, 7 times to 1, right? You need to hear the good things versus the bad things. Like we need disproportionately to hear the good. And that is true of your team as well. They need to hear the bright spots. They need to hear the good things. We assume they know it, and they do, but they need us to say it. They need to know that we see it as well. So you've got to call out the bright spots. So today, I want to give you 5 culture boosters, things that you can do to help foster bright spots in your culture this summer. Because here's the thing, summer's a tricky part of the year. Is it not? Like some of you and most of the clients that we work with, it's like they're trying to cram a bunch of work in before summer starts, because when summer starts, it's kind of like everything's off the rails. Everybody's coming and going, vacations. Employees are generally a bit more checked out mentally because their kids are home, the sun is shining, weekends at the lake are calling. And so everybody gets distracted in the summer. And so as leaders, a lot of times we like try to cram a bunch of work in before the summer, and then we hit it hard as soon as school goes back and we've got their attention again. But I want you to lean into the summer. Like, how can you do some things to boost your culture in the summer and not just assume it's a throwaway? I want to encourage you to make the most of the season by leaning into the very things that can otherwise be a drag on your culture in the summer. So, are you ready for this? A couple of things. These are not rocket science. In fact, some of you might do these, and I'm going to give you an opportunity. I want to hear from you the things that you do in the summer to maintain engagement with your team. That's what we're talking about here. It's like, hey, let's not let it be a throwaway. Let's do things that actually boost our culture in the summer. So here's the first one. Adjust your meetings. What do I mean by that? Adjust your meetings. Summer schedules often mean that people are coming and going with more frequency, right? So you schedule a meeting, or you have your weekly team meeting or weekly executive team meeting. And like every week, you're like, who's going to be here? Nobody's going to be here. Half the people are here. We can't really make a full decision because so-and-so is missing. And so it starts to feel like those meetings are just an absolute waste of time. It can be difficult to get your leadership team together every week. Like the regular cadence of meetings that you have might not be possible. And when you have that meeting, you feel like you can't make a decision because not everyone is present. And so it starts to become discouraging. You just are going through the motions and you're not getting movement. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to look ahead at your calendar and determine what weeks everyone is available and then adjust accordingly. So here's what you might do. You might look ahead and say, you know what, instead of having a weekly executive team meeting, we're going to have a monthly one, because here's the week of our summer months that everybody's in town. So this is a really critical meeting. Most of our big decisions are going to happen in this meeting, and it's really important that everybody's here. Now, I'm not suggesting that you schedule this on weeks that they've already requested vacation and it's been approved, but I want you to look for what could you do to adjust your meetings. Maybe they're just on different days of the week, right? Maybe you need to just rearrange them. Maybe they're not with a regular rhythm, but you just identify, here's the dates we're doing executive team meetings in the summer because everybody's here. So we're going to all lean into that to make the most of it. If you look ahead and you anticipate, you're going to be able to adjust accordingly and make those meetings more effective. Instead of forcing a mediocre weekly meeting, adjust it to a new rhythm that works with that erratic schedule rather than fighting against it. Do you see what I'm saying here? And again, it's not going to be perfect. But if you anticipate it and you think ahead and you go, I'm going to make these slight adjustments, or you know what, 3 of 4 of my exec team members are out this week. So we're not going to have a meeting this week, but the other weeks we are. Just look ahead. And that way it gives everybody clearer expectations. And they're not just thinking, oh, we're going through the motions. We're wasting time in meetings that aren't very effective because so many people are gone. Anticipate, look ahead, and make adjustments that make those meetings as effective as they possibly can. Number 2, consider summer hours. So maybe you shorten the workday by an hour, or you do half days on Fridays. If your team is hybrid or remote, they're already doing this anyway. They're just hoping you don't notice it, right? Like if they're hybrid or remote, they're already making adjustments because again, the kids are home, the sun is shining, they want to be outside, they want to be doing things. I'm not making an excuse for them to not do their work. You guys know I'm the first one to say, hey, we need to be accountable and responsible for the work that we have. but work with these rhythms, right? Create summer hours. It's such a simple thing that can create a big win for your team. I remember years ago when I worked in the music business, there were some companies that did like half days on Fridays or a Friday off once a month. And it was like one of my roommates, their company did a Friday off once a month, like first Friday was off. And it was like you had given them the moon. Like they were so excited. I was so jealous because my company didn't do that. And I had a great company, great culture, but it was one of those simple things that her company did that I was like, that is so fantastic. And it was such a morale booster for their team. So just consider, what could you do? Slight adjustment that helps team members know you see them, you see their kids are off for the summer, they want to do some extra things, just slight adjustments. Now, give them that freedom for the flexibility. But guys, still be clear about expectations and accountability. And if you've got this handled appropriately, like if you have a good culture of accountability, then you can have a great culture of freedom and flexibility. Like those two things go together. So perhaps you're going to give a little more freedom. Maybe you do adjust some hours a little bit and you create summer hours. Just reinforce that with, but hey guys, here's the expectation. These are the things that we have to make sure happen, in order to do this. And so just a great opportunity to kind of reset that we want a culture that's both and accountability and flexibility. So consider summer hours, consider some adjustments to the summer schedule that help your team members enjoy it more. Number 3, add some summer fun. Hire an ice cream truck to come to the office for a surprise one afternoon and pay for it. Guys, ice cream isn't that expensive. And just enjoy a little treat in the afternoon. Maybe do a staff outing to a minor league baseball game. If you're a small organization, maybe you have the entire staff and their families over for a cookout, or your department, and have them over for a cookout one evening just to hang out together. Now, here's the thing on this one. Recruit a few other staff members, ideally your culture team. If you have a culture team like we prescribe in the LeadCulture framework, then get your culture team to brainstorm this, because what you think is fun might not be fun to your staff. Okay, so just prepare yourself for that. They're going to suggest something that you're like, really? That's fun? Yes, really. So get a few team members, ideally your culture team, to speak into this and give you some ideas of what would be fun to your staff. And then take action on one or two of those things. Now, don't fill up their summer schedule. They're not looking to do more stuff with their work friends. I'm just saying swap out some things in your regular work rhythms for something that feels fun and festive and light for summer. Number 4, get some sunshine. Get some sunshine. Now have a meeting outdoors. Now, I realize I'm a Midwest girl, so this probably mostly applies to my friends who are not in the deep South where it's blazing hot. In your case, you might have a meeting in the air conditioning, but open the windows. Our bodies work best when they are aligned with nature's rhythms. And it is summertime. We want to be outside. Summer should feel bright and warm. So look for ways to let the sun in, either literally or figuratively, but embrace the broader culture of the season, that summer is bright, it's fun, it's warm, it's engaging. So make sure you don't have everybody holed up in dark office conference rooms, but go outside for a meeting, take a walk for a one-on-one meeting. Like, just look for ways to lighten things up and let it feel more like summer. And then number 5, major on the majors. Knowing that your team is focused on vacations and enjoying summer rhythms, use the season to determine what to eliminate. Okay, so there's a lot going on. So this is a season to simplify and go, what are the most important things? And how do I hold people accountable to the things that are most critical, and use the opportunity to determine what we might be able to stop altogether? So again, knowing vacations are going to, slow things down because people are in or out. What are the things that are most critical, and focus on those? Use the summer season. Instead of being frustrated that everybody's coming and going, help that be a catalyst for you thinking about, okay, what maybe could we stop doing? Or what should we just stop for the summer to see how big of a consequence it has? Maybe there's things that we're doing that we just don't really need to be doing. Maybe there's things that we could automate. Maybe there's things that AI could do. use the summer to help you rethink how you're doing what you're doing. And major on the majors. Hold your team accountable to the most important things that really move the needle. I was listening to Blake Erickson from the company scaling.com, and he was saying this stat. I'm looking it up for you because I wrote it down. The average business owner spends only 36% of their time on things that actually boost the growth of their company. Now, I have a suspicion we can apply that across the board, and probably it gets worse with employees. If business owners only spend 36% of their time on things that actually boost the growth of their company, I guarantee you the rest of the team are even less effective in that. Not because they're bad people, but business owners are just more invested in the things that grow their company, right? And so if business owners only spend 36% of their time on the things that actually grow their organization or grow their business, then how much more is that true of the rest of the team? So this is an opportunity to major on the majors. See, the temptation for us as leaders is to think, oh, everybody's in and out, we're not going to be effective. Well, they're not all that effective when they are in the office. So let's use this. I realize that didn't sound very nice. I don't mean that disrespectfully. But the truth is we burn a lot of time on things that don't really matter. All of us do it. All of us do it. And so this is an opportunity to major on the majors. What are the things that we can do that are really most critical for achieving our mission, and keep everybody laser focused on that and create some flexibility for vacations and just summer fun. So those are my 5 things for you today. Adjust your meetings, look at your meeting schedule, and just maximize it. Consider summer hours. What could you adjust in your summer schedule to give your team a little more flexibility? Maybe it's one Friday off a month. Maybe it's half day Fridays. Maybe it's just they get off an hour earlier every day. What is that? What does that look like? Number 3, add some summer fun. Get an ice cream truck, do a staff outing, get your culture team to help you come up with what's fun. Number 4, get some sunshine. Just pay attention to how can I make things bright and light and fun, because that is the epitome of summer. And number 5, major on the majors. Figure out what are the most important things. Keep your team laser focused on that. Leave room for flexibility. All right, friends, those are my thoughts. I'd love to know yours. Adjusting to the rhythms of the summer. Don't fight it. Work with it and look for ways to boost your culture this summer. You don't have to coast this summer. See, I think a lot of us as leaders just think, we'll lose some time. I don't think we have to lose time. I think we can maximize it. So adjust to the rhythms of the summer, work with it, look for ways to boost your culture this summer. If your team recognize that you're not trying to work to fight against the vacations that they're taking, but you're actually trying to work with it and create more space for that while also holding people accountable to the most important things, it will be a culture booster. So look for those places to boost your culture this summer, and then come and share the culture bright spots with me. Tell me what worked, what was good, what was effective in your culture. So friends, I would love to hear from you. What does your organization do in the summer? Do you already make some adjustments? What are they? Do you adjust your schedule? What does that look like? Do you do some fun stuff together? Send me an email at jennicatron@getforesight.com. And I'll probably share your idea, because I love hearing ideas from leaders and teams that are doing creative and unique things to boost their culture. So keep leading well, make those adjustments for the summer, and tell me what worked for you. Well, friends, thanks for joining me today. I want to know what you thought about this episode. Was it helpful? Rate, review, forward this, share this with somebody else. That helps us keep doing the podcast. So I'm so grateful that you guys are here, that you're learning, that you're growing, and that we're building cultures that great people want to be a part of. So keep leading well, and we'll see you next time.